Hi everyone, and welcome to another model railway review from Class 47 Peter. And in today's review we're going to be taking a look at the Hornby LSWR Adams Radial tank. Now, I have done a review on this model already before. However, the original review I did is no longer on YouTube because I removed it. There's a few reasons why I removed it. I'm not going to bore you with those, but one of the reasons I took it down is because it was one of the few videos I did that had audio quality in, which was recorded from a microphone, and I just wasn't really very happy with the quality of the audio, and I didn't really like it, to be honest, so I took it down and thought I'd do the video again, but this time without having to record any audio through a microphone. And so I put the model back in its box, and this really is a stunning model, as you will soon see. Now, I first bought this model back in 2016, and I actually bought this from Colonel Model Railway Centre. It was the first time I actually went into the shop in person. It was during a holiday in Cornwall, and during that visit I paid a visit to Colonel. Really do recommend you go there. It's a lovely place. The shop is, it really is. The staff there are very friendly, and I went and bought this, and it was around the time when this model was first released, actually, and I went for number 488, which is the preserved one at the Bluebell Railway, in the LSWR green livery, which it really is a beautiful livery, as you can see. But anyway, so let's get this model open and have a look at her. So this is the box sleeve, and there's a photograph on the front of the photo we get of the model inside the box. On the back you'll get a drawing diagram of the model and brief history of the real locomotives, so you can pause and read that if you want. And then we take out the plastic packaging, and then we have the instructions inside, and we get a couple of pieces of card in there as well. So put the tray down, and here we have the instruction manual for the Adams Radial, and it's all the stuff we've seen before really. On the back it tells you how to fit the brake rod, and inside it talks to you about lubrication, and it gives you a diagram of where to put the oil. It talks to you about fitting the accessories. This model did come with them, but I didn't put them in for this video because, I mean, I've put them in one of my boxes where I keep all my accessories, and I wasn't going to dig through them just to find the accessories it came with. And then it talks to you about removing the body, with a diagram showing you how to do that, and fitting a DCC decoder. So I'll put that to one side, and I'll put it back in my folder where I keep all my instruction manuals. So now all we do is we remove the outer plastic sleeve, then we undo the clip, and we gently lift the model out. Then we put the packaging away, and we can now look at the model in closer detail. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the weight of the model, and it is very heavy. There's quite a lot of weight in this, which is what we want, because the weight is important with these models, because if this model has no weight then it can't pull anything. So it's very important that these models have weight in them, and I believe that this model is mostly a die-cast structure, which is good because then it means that as much weight as possible is being packed into the model. Moving on to the detail now, which we have sprung metal buffers, as you can see. I don't care about them personally, but if you like them then they'll keep you happy. On the front we have a dummy coupling hook, as you can see there, and the loco's running number 488 crisply printed there. On the running board we have separately fitted lamp irons, as well as a separately fitted brake pipe, or vacuum pipe, whichever you choose to call it. Moving on to the smoke box now. So on the front of the smoke box, around the smoke box door, we have some rivet detail, as you can see. We have some separately fitted lamp irons either side of the smoke box door there. There's a separately fitted lamp iron on top, and we also have separately fitted smoke box door darts, as you can see, which is always a nice bit of detail to have when they're separately fitted. We also have a lovely stovepipe chimney there, which this is the sort of chimney that the Adams Radials were fitted with originally. They later had them replaced. On the sides of the smoke box we have some rivet detail, as you can see, and some nice pipe work there, as you can see. I believe it's some sort of steam piping of some sort. On the running board we have a toolbox, and we've also got some separately fitted piece of detail here, which is painted a gold colour. Not 100% certain what it is, but it's there and it looks really nice. We also have a separately fitted metal handrail running down alongside the boiler there, and it curves up and around on top of the smoke box door there and runs down on the other side. We have a very nice dome, and we also have the whistle and the safety valve. The whistle is not made out of turned brass, but it's there and it's painted. We also have some nice pipe work there as well, as you can see. Excuse the cocktail stick pointing that detail out. We have glazing in the cab windows. You can see there's some rivet detail on the front of the cab as well. Moving on to the cab roof, which there's not much detail on there, but that's true to the prototype because they don't really have detail on the cab roof. On the running board we have a wheel arch there on the front drive wheel, and that has a very lovely gold trim on that. And we also have a sandbox there on that wheel arch with some very nice separately fitted detail applied on it, as you can see, including a small metal handrail, as you can see there, fitted on the sandbox. On the boiler we have the steam pipe in there. We've also got some visible downlight under the boiler there, as you can see. On the cylinder heads we have some rivet detail, and we've also got the drain cocks as well, which you've already applied and they are pre-fitted when you get the model. We also have a footstep for the crew to climb on to get up on top of the loco, and that has some very nice rivet detail on them. And then just look at the side rods and the link motion on this model. I can't wait to see that moving like you do on the real thing. That's always nice to see on these models. That's what I love. That's one of the things I love about steam locos. You get to see all the outside moving parts. It really is a pleasure to see on both the real locos and on the models. On the water tanks we have separately fitted handrails there, as you can see. On the running plate we have some very nice crisp white lining, as you can see, and that does look stunning. On the cab sides we have the loco's running number 488 crisply printed there on the sides, and the correct style of numerals as well. And we also have a small metal handrail just there on top of the cab there, on the cab sides. We've also got separately fitted handrails there in the doorway, as you can see. There's also some nice rivet detail on the running board there, as you can see. And just look at the detail inside the cab interior. The regulator, the gauges, the dials. It's all painted, and I just love to see the painted cab interior details in these models. It really does add to the detail on them. I also like the detail in the cab floors as well. We've also got the handbrake in there as well. And I do love that the interior of the cab is painted a yellow colour. That really does look nice. As you can see, we have some nice detail on the rear of the cab and glazing in the rear cab windows. We also have the coal rail as well on the bunker. Now the coal load itself in the bunker is removable. I'm not going to remove it on camera in this video, but it does come out. Only thing is, if I remember rightly, you have to take this out in order to take the coal out. But if you are going to add a real coal load in, what you need to do is need to glue that back in place, because otherwise there's a gaping hole there, and you can actually see, I think you can see some of the mechanism in there as well, if I remember rightly, or wires or something like that. And you know, the last thing you'd want is glue to run down inside that hole and get inside the mechanism. But you can scatter a real coal load on this plastic load if you want. On the back of the bunker we have separately fitted lamp irons and a separately fitted vacuum or brake pipe, whichever you choose to call it. A dummy coupling hook on the buffer beam, as well as a NEM tension lock slim coupling. And just like on the front of the loco, we have sprung metal buffers. Moving on to the livery application, and I really do love the LSWR green. It's a beautiful livery. The livery is correct. The shade of it is. It's very nice and evenly applied, no errors in the paint. And I just love the crisp white lining on this model, particularly on the cylinders, the footsteps, the toolboxes there, the sandbox and the wheel arches, and the water tanks there, or side tanks if that's what you want to choose to call them, on the bunker. And I in particularly love the lining on the boiler bands. It really is a beautiful livery to look at, and that is why I went for this particular model. And I do love the livery, the colour of the wheels as well, which again it's the right colour as it is on the body. And I do love the wheels being green as well. That really does make them stand out, and it's just such a gorgeous livery. And if we turn the model round to the other side, there is one detail difference that we don't see on the other side, and that's this separately fitted detail part on top of the boiler there, just under that steam piping by the whistle. Other than that though, the rest of the detail on this side is the same, as it is per the prototype. Now we're coming to the running performance now of the model. And as you can see, she's a smooth runner. There ain't no grinding noises or motors burning out, stuttering movements or anything of the sort. She runs exactly as she should do, straight from the box. And she's ran this smooth ever since day one, which is what we want really. Moving on to the loaded test run now for the Adams Radial, and I have 5 of my Southern Region coaches behind her, and she can manage these with ease. The 4-rake is 6 coaches, but she can't manage the 4-rake, but she can manage most of it though. So she's still very powerful. It's also the first time I've had my Adams Radial pulling this many coaches, because usually at the most I only get a pulling about 2 or 3 coaches, sometimes even just 1 coach. So this is the first time I've attempted this loaded test run with her, and she can manage fine. I mean, there is some slight struggle up here, but she can manage otherwise. And she manages to pull through in the end. So overall then, the Hornby Adams Radial tank really is a stunning model. I highly recommend you get one of these. You will not be disappointed. I was not happy when I first bought that, and to this day I've never been disappointed with that, and I absolutely love this locomotive, not just the model but in real life as well. And I do want to get a second Adams Radial. I'd definitely not say no to buying one of these. I think I'd probably end up going for an Oxford Rail Adams Radial to see what they like. I know when they first came out they had a few issues, but they have since rectified those and they've now improved them. And I am really tempted to get the model in the Mornsel Olive Green livery, so that's something I'm definitely going to have to look into. I think that's a model I'm going to have in my life. And in my opinion, I think the Hornby Adams Radial is one of Hornby's best models. I mean, I can't fault it at all, and I just absolutely love it. So that brings me on to the score, and so overall I'm going to give the Hornby Adams Radial, it's going to be a 10 out of 10. It really does deserve that score, in my opinion. This has been Class 47 Peter reviewing the superb Hornby Adams Radial. I'll see you again soon for the next review, which will be a review of a new model. But I hope you've enjoyed this re-review of a model I've reviewed in the past. Subscribe to the channel, check out my other videos, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.